Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over the cryptocurrency market, excluding Bitcoin, because we're going to go over the total two and the total three. Check it out. And, guys, look, at the end of the day, here's the deal. I'm seeing bullishness coming in. I'm seeing bullishness coming in, especially on these assets, guys. Everybody's saying the bottom's going to fall out, and then you go read on Twitter talking about the bear market, how people, lose all their money in the bear market. But it's funny when you're up here and you mention something about a bear market, they criticize you and ridicule you. Now you're back down here and you're talking about people get ready for another swing up or a bull cycle, if you will, and they criticize you for that. It's funny how that works, isn't it? Especially from the so-called experts that are going on. Look, let's take a look at this reasonably. Here's the total two. For those that don't know what the total two is, I'll tell you, it's all of the assets excluding Bitcoin. So this includes Ethereum, Binance. It doesn't include the what are they called? Stables. No stables, obviously. They're supposed to stay stable, $1. And then the ones on down from below there. So Cardano's in here, Polkadot's in there, all those coins. Okay, we're gonna go with the total three too. And what we have, in my opinion, this is one of the reasons why I believe Bitcoin is in a fourth wave correction. I'll show you my data that I'm looking at. This is the reason why I believe Bitcoin is in a fourth wave correction, and then Ethereum was in a fourth wave correction, and they're going up on a fifth wave because there's no other way to explain that right here. This is not in a second. That's not that was a third wave, extended third wave that it did. It's correction there. And then if you take these, I'm going to take the line off. You can see fourth wave, nice and deep. Second wave was sideways. That's all you have to do right there, guys. That explains that to me. But you look at this down here in the RSI, it took everything out and all the way down to the 2018 bear market. And I'm looking at the MACD down here, guys. See, the MACD's been the lowest it's ever been. You do have a bullish cross. That can be a false signal on the MACD down there. And I'm just looking at this data, and it doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look that bad. So there's a good shot that this is going to go up and make another wave at some point. I think it's just a slow start right now, and everybody's panicking. And same thing over here. Same thing over here. Same thing over here. Probably come down a little bit on the total two. You'd have the same, over here like that with that move with the total two, and it could go up probably just beyond that peak there and be over with for another correction to be coming up on the total two, guys. I don't see it. Let's go over the total three. Take a look at this too. Total three. You can see the peak and then it went up. This is probably a third wave extension, in my opinion. Just like this is total three. This is all the coins excluding Ethereum. And the RSI is way down here. Took everything out from the 2018 bear market, and it's the same thing down here in the MACD. Bullish cross, a little bit of bullish divergence right there with it coming down and that coming up, and you have a cross. That could be a false signal. The other reason why I am going more bullish on the total two and the total three is not because of what the charts look like. Not at all, guys. Not at all. I'll tell you why. Been going over it. What's probably vitally more important than looking at the NASDAQ or looking at anything is this is peaking, the DXY is peaking, and the 10-year notes are peaking. They're in a topping pattern. This is a topping pattern. So they're going through a transition. The DXY is going through a transition right now to make a topping pattern and then eventually make a trend down. The 10-year notes is in here making a topping pattern to eventually make a trend down. And then what's going on right here? More than likely, little transition period in this area with total two to make its way back up. Same thing with the total three right in this area, kind of like right down there, transition to make its way back up. That's how I am looking at it based off all the data that I'm looking at. That's just how I see it, guys. I think right now it's just wait for this to peak, and it could have already peaked. It has you take a look at the on the DXY, you can see it's a topping pattern based on the candles too, guys. you know, these are topping candles. You can see that a little bit. So definitely topping pattern coming up there. Definitely topping pattern coming up there. Looks like a transition right in there. And come over here, total 3, looks like a little transition going on in there. You know, look at that and look at that. Go over here to total 2, look at that and look at that. Same thing. What's going to do? Probably just beyond all-time highs right there. So that's another reason why I was saying, I mentioned this before, why I think Bitcoin is in it did a 4th wave and not a 2nd wave like some people, because look at this asset. There's no way this is going into a 3rd wave, guys. This asset is not going blasting up into a 3rd wave. Not even possible. More than likely, there's enough for one last hoorah right up to there. And then, boom, that'll be a serious correction. Same thing with this asset right here. One last hoorah right up to there or right past all-time highs, and boom, then you have your correction. Because you take a look at the steepening, the yield curve and the unemployment, it looks like they're starting to creep up a little bit. They can go up and down a little bit. But once they start taking off and they start taking off, that'll be the recession. Those will probably be your 2 indicators. If you look at the inverted yield curve, the 10-year over 2-year, and the unemployment, when they start really going up, and that's when the recession will hit. And that's when more than likely this have enough to do one last move up. Boom, that'll be the recession. That's still what I'm looking for, guys. So, and then this right here is telling me that this could be enough for one last hoorah too, and right over here too, guys. So I don't see it looking too bad based off the data that I'm looking at. I really don't, guys. So just be patient, sit on your hands for the time being. It'll come back more than likely. It's just going to be a slow transition process to get it back out and start getting a little bit bullish again. Okay, that's how I'm looking at it. The data is telling me otherwise. I know it goes contrary against the grain, what everybody says, but that's what happened at the top. That's what happened up here. That was going against the grain. Same thing up there was going on. You told somebody that you're bearish, because when did the bear market really start? You wouldn't call this a bear market? Well, the bear market started right there. Nobody believed it. Nobody believed it. Now they believe the bear market here, right? Okay, now we're in the bear market. Finally, they admit it. And it's the same thing, you know. Those that are calling the top, saying that's it, they hate them. And now we're down here saying this is probably the bottom, and they hate us once again. That's how the markets work, guys. All right, if you made it all the way to the end, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.